Well, welcome to Brekkie with the Guy Who Sews. This is our last live of 2024. Can you believe that Christmas is over? New Year's Eve is just around the corner, and 2025 will be upon us in about, 4 days? Anyway, I brought my friend Tasha from Tasha Quilts back. You may have seen her a couple of weeks ago, but we figured to bring her back because you may have heard already, but we've given each other a challenge. But we'll talk about that later on in the live because people are still waking up. And as the live goes on, we'll have more and more. So we'll wait for them to join us. But you may have already heard this news. But if not, we're going to tell you again. But anyway, I'm going to let Tasha introduce herself because I need coffee and she does a better job than I would.
Well, good morning, everybody. Sorry if I sound a little sick. I got a little extra Christmas gift this year. I am Tasha from Tasha Quilts. And on my channel, we just talk about how my crazy life and how I find time for quilting. So yeah, I'm really happy to be here. Good morning.
Well, thank you for joining us. It's always good to have Tasha on. I actually had the privilege of being her very, very first live guest last week. So I figured let's return the favor and have her back once again. But yeah, it's really fun. We've had a great 2024 here on the channel. Tasha hit 1,000 subscribers quite recently over here. Actually, it was really fun to have someone hit a milestone while they were here. But let's see. We'll say a quick good morning to everybody to see who's here, or good afternoon or good evening, depending on which part of the world you're in. I do see Christina is here from Sweden, so it's good afternoon to her. I don't know if any of my Australian mates are here, but it's anywhere between 8 p.m. and midnight there. So if they're all asleep, I don't blame them. Anyway, let's see. Our first viewer for this morning was Melanie Taylor, and then Melissa Feldhouse is here with us. Good morning to both of you. Very, very early good morning to Miss Kathleen Champ out there in California. Joyce Hernandez is here with us. Good morning, Annette. Great to see you. Michelle the Quilter says, good morning. Hi, Shauna family. I've been watching the daily vlogs. Love them. Hi, Tasha. I subscribed to your channel the last time you were here. Happy New Year. Well, thank you so much. Good afternoon to Miss Christina over there in Sweden. Good morning to Lisa. She says, hi, Sean, Tasha, and everyone in chat. I'll be lurking and quilting. I do that a lot while I'm watching lives. I'll come in, I'll say hi, and then I'm usually, because I can't chat and sew at the same time. I don't know if you all can, but I cannot. I have to pick or choose. So anyway, let's see what's next. Who's next? My friend Brenda, good morning to you. Tasha Quilts, good morning to you. It's good to see you. Good morning to Joyce. Deb Esther Pugmum Quilter is here. Patricia, we've got a couple of Joyces. Nikki B. Kathleen Davis is here with us as well. Our friend Andy from True Blue Quilts is here with us. Good morning to Miss Andy. We need to get her on at some point soon. I'll have to talk to her about that. Miss Patty is here with us. Stephanie Fulton. And I think I got everybody. If I missed you, just tag me, let me know. I try to keep up, but I am not perfect. Anyway, what did you bring along this morning to work on, Tasha?
I am doing a little English paper piecing EPP this morning for my next random quilt block video. So it's a little bit of a tease.
Oh, very nice. So what is the random quilt block video? Because I may have seen it, I may not, and some of the other viewers may not. So yeah, would you tell us a bit more about that?
So I bought, of course I don't have it with me, the Encyclopedia of Pieced Quilt Blocks. It's a wonderful book that has a lot of different quilt blocks in it. And I thought it would be so fun to use a random number generator to help me pick a block every so often. I think I'm going to try to do one once a month. So I'm working on my second block to do that. I really like doing that. It takes me out of my comfort zone and gives me something new to try. And sometimes you have to be creative in how I'm going to put the block together.
Oh, very nice.
What are you working on?
All right. I am continuing my merry journey along with the 12 Days of Stitchits. I am so far behind on that, it's not even funny. Sorry, I'm just putting up. We're gonna do a what's it called? One of those poll things. Oh. I came up with some questions this morning, and I figured we'd make an interaction.
We love interaction.
Okay, so just put the poll in for anyone watching the live chat, and if you are watching the replay, I'd love to hear your answer to this as well. Is when you start a new project, do you start with a full bobbin, or do you go brave and go bobbin chicken mode and just use an existing one?
Should I answer?
Yeah, I'd love to hear your answer.
So I only change the bobbin when I'm changing thread color. So I use a lot of like a dove gray to piece and to quilt. Actually, I end up using it quite a bit, and I will use that until I lose bobbin chicken. So yeah, I don't start fresh, but I do whenever I wind bobbins. I wind. My daughter loves to play with it, so it's missing. I do like 4 at a time, and so I'm ready to switch it out.
Oh, nice.
I hoard extra bobbins. What do you
Yeah, I
do?
tend to like because I have one for each color. Like I have this cool thing with all the different bobbins.
Yeah, I have something similar. My daughter loves playing with that.
Yeah, it's made out of like some sort of rubber or plastic
Yeah.
or something. I forget what it's called, but it works really well. Like you wouldn't think this thing would actually stay, but for the most part, it does. But it has all different colors. And I used to start the live with a fresh bobbin, but today I'm just going to live it up live and large and play bobbin chicken. I know I'm going to lose, but I can change them out pretty quickly. So that's kind of what inspired me to ask that question. Is let's see. What people come up with. And it looks like the vast majority, 81% at this point in time, are saying bobbin chicken. So
I will make an exception if I'm quilting something. I hate because I do a lot of like, or only strictly walking foot quilting. And to
yeah,
me, like running out of bobbin in the middle of a row of a quilt is like my nightmare. Like, I'm probably dramatic about it. So I will watch my bobbin but I will use that like bobbin that doesn't have a lot left because I switched it out early in my next piecing project.
yeah, I think when it comes to quilting, I'm kind of the same way. Like I was thinking more of the piecing. I probably should have
Yeah.
specified that. But yeah, with quilting, I try to have a full bobbin, but it's kind of hard because like as you can see, I have like a million of these plastic bobbins for the rubber machine. They're like cheap as chips, but the bobbins for the Benina are not
Oh,
so inexpensive. So I think I have like 10 or 11 of them that I don't know, but I tend to quilt with the same colors. So I kind of get away at that one there as well.
yeah.
So, but yeah, I also sometimes have a spare one sitting on top of the machine. So if I do need to switch it out, I can just go ahead and I'm not brave like you and have 4, but I usually have one spare one floating around at most points.
Yeah. That's
So
the
there you
key.
go. I kind of feel like this is like a pit stop, in a motor race. If you run out, you try and see how fast you can do it.
Yep.
So there you go. All right, but yeah, I'm working on day 3, I think it is, of the 12 days of Stitch It. I've done this, which is the
Oh,
windmills. I've done that much so far. I'm going to do another one of those in just a minute, and then there is 2 rows of square blocks because I don't have enough just to do purely pinwheels, and so we'll hopefully get a good chunk of that done. But I make no promises. Good morning, Mr. Roberts. Good to see you. He says, hello, everyone. I hope all are well. And he has his own wonderful channel. And I think it's under Man Cave. Let's see. If you have a channel and you'd like to put your link in, just go ahead and put your command in. It should be your first name for the vast majority of you. Okay, that one didn't work. Maybe it's under Rob. I can't remember. So, all right. What was I doing? I'm so distracted this morning. If you're looking for perfection, I am sorry you are in the wrong place. I hope you find what you're looking for. But if you enjoy quilting and a couple of us just chatting about it and maybe getting some sewing done, then you are in the right place as well. Good morning to Miss Joyty. It's good to see you as well. So, how was your Christmas? Did you have a good Christmas holiday season? Did you get spoiled?
we did. I did. I got my husband bought me a camcorder, which it's kind of funny to think about a camcorder, but he said he did his research and he thinks it's going to be great for me to take footage for my YouTube channel. So that was really nice that he tried to research, and he is not a technology guy. So the fact he spent the time researching and finding a camcorder that he thinks I'll love, I love that. Do you want to hear the crazy story of how our Christmas started, or one for the memory books?
Oh, absolutely. I always love a good Christmas story or any good story. That's what we're here for.
So I, we were up until 2 a.m. putting together a vanity for my daughter. If you don't do that at least once in your life, do you even have children? And so we're not up that late on Christmas Eve. So we're up at 2. My kids, they're up at 6 or before every day. So our son comes in at 6, wakes us up. We all go out. My daughter's still sleeping. And then, I'm trying to drink a cup of coffee, get the cinnamon rolls going. And all of a sudden our house starts filling with smoke. The stove or the fan on our pellet stove that's supposed to put the smoke out broke. So now the smoke detectors are going off. My daughter wakes up thinking the house is burning down. For the next 40 minutes, we have to open all the doors and windows and air the house out. I mean, everything's fine. And then the kids finally got to open their presents. But can you imagine being 4 and 7 and having to sit and look at your presents for 40 minutes while your parents try to get the house smoke free? So they will definitely be talking about that Christmas forever. A very memorable Christmas. So it was still
I'm
good. We
sure.
rallied.
Well, at least the house didn't burn down, just
yes, very minor inconvenience and a memory for sure. I was laughing about it real time. It took my husband, well, he probably still doesn't find it funny. Maybe someday he'll find it funny. Yes, so we had it, but we had a really good Christmas. How about yours?
it was good. I didn't have anything quite as dramatic. I mean, I think the worst thing we had was that we were up until about 11:30 on Christmas Eve wrapping presents because we didn't start until about 10 p.m. until the girls went to bed.
That'll do it.
But thankfully, it didn't take as long as we thought it would. But yeah, the girls had a great Christmas. They got spoiled, which we like to spoil the kids. When they're here, it's just part of the joys of parenthood.
Yes.
But they loved everything they got. Ellie got some we bought her some really, really nice crochet hooks because she's really getting into that. She actually made she crocheted these mug rugs.
Oh, that's so cute. She did such a
And
great job.
she did a wonderful job because there's interesting story behind this as well, is that I bought this, what they call roving, which is unspun yarn or unspun wool, basically. If you've watched Amanda's Vlogmas series, that's what Ali's been opening throughout the month of December, is what they call roving, and then she spins it into stuff. But I actually bought this green and yellow stuff about 6 or 7 years ago because I was interested in learning how to spin. And I tried it for a little while and it wasn't for me. And so when she started wanting to learn how to spin, I gave her that roving and said, hey, go ahead and do something with this. And so apparently behind the scenes, she went ahead and made me a couple of mug rugs with it. So they are a very much prized possession. I love them. They fit my coffee cups and so forth beautifully, and just the story behind it for me is very, very special because it's something that I bought to use myself, but didn't get around to it, and it's just really nice that it actually did get used and it's not sitting collecting dust, and it's actually a functional unit. So
That's awesome.
yeah, and then my mother-in-law got me this shirt here, which says "Every day it's always a good day to quilt." I think that's perfect.
That's great.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it was a really good Christmas. The girls had fun. I mean, for me, it's more about the kids. It's as long as they have a good, because they only get one Christmas here in America, so I want it to be special for them. So.
Yeah.
And we took them all over the place. We went to all different light shows, and we actually found one more that we'll take them to on Wednesday. It's normally a drive-through down at the ocean front, but on Wednesday it's going to be a walk-through.
Nice.
So we figure we'll go down there Wednesday evening, take the doggos. But it's interesting, like we took Hopper and Finley to the Botanical Gardens on Sunday, because on Sundays they let you take your dogs with you to the lights.
Oh.
And Copper they both loved it. Copper just liked sniffing everything, and Finley just liked looking at the lights.
Hey, that's funny.
So we'll definitely take them along again as well. Okay. Melanie Taylor says, that's great, Sean. I think she did a great job on those. Thank you very much. Good morning, Miss Laurie. It's good to see you. Someone was asking here earlier, Kathleen was asking, is anyone else doing the Bonner Hunter mystery? I am not, but I've heard it's a lot of fun, and apparently it looks like Laurie over at Quilting in the Country is doing that as well. So are you doing any sew-alongs or anything special for the new year, like sew-along type things?
Yeah, I did end up signing up for the cotton cuts Um,
Puzzle mystery quilt.
yep, I did do
Yep.
that. And I am part of Libs Elliott's Sew Squad, and she's doing a block of the month, like a sampler skill builder, and so I'm gonna do that.
Nice.
How about you?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things going on. I'm gonna obviously, well, try and catch up on my Winnie the Pooh. Maybe continue to not be so far behind on the Alice in Wonderland stuff by Art East. And then, in my infinite wisdom, yesterday I decided to go ahead and sign up for their new song, the Farm Sampler, I think it's called. It starts in February.
Is that
I
the
don't know
farm
why.
one?
Yeah, it's
It was so cute. I heard somebody talking about it somewhere, and I had to go look it up.
yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. It looks like an old school farm thing. It's one pattern, one block every 2 weeks. So it starts in February and I think it ends in mid-June. I'll probably be finished in, September of 2027. But I like to enjoy the journey. So there we go. And that's a good question. Joyce comes up is asking you, which legit kits did you get? Because apparently I was bad last week and enticed her to go out and buy 2 legit kits.
Should have gotten one. Do you know how you have buyer's remorse? Like I learned about that when I was in school, about how you buy something and you immediately feel bad. I did feel a little bad about this, but I let it go because they're big investments. Like, why did I get 2 and not 1? It was crazy. I got the mushrooms, which I love gnomes and mushrooms. Like, I love it. And so I'm so excited. And I got the Skulliver. So my original idea was I would get the Skulliver for my dad. It's like an easy one, it says, and then the mushrooms are a harder one. So and I was gonna make it for myself, but I have a feeling that once I spend that much time making those, that they might end up just on my wall.
Yeah, it's always tough letting those really intricate ones go, like the Wizard of Oz, the Alice in Wonderland, Winnie the Pooh. They're not leaving the house.
Yeah,
Um,
people
too
don't
much.
appreciate, right? Like, if it was going to another quilter, but why would another quilter want a quilt I made? Then maybe, but it's like my dad and my stepmom would appreciate it more than the average person. But like, right, like there's a lot of love that goes into those.
Yeah, and that's a good point. But I think for me, I think after putting that much work into it, I want to be able to go look at it whenever I want.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, none of them
Love
are
your
quilted,
life.
and they probably won't get quilted until the end of time, because, like the Wizard of Oz, I finished piecing that one, and I really just want to take my time quilting that because I'm kind of toying with the idea of maybe putting some, little Easter eggs in there, maybe, you know, stuff from the movie and stuff. And I'm really good at like someone. I was asking about the quilting on it a while back, and someone said, "Take your time with it. You've spent so long piecing it, you want to quilt it right." And I'm like, "That's a really, really good point." So, as much as I'd like to be able to just go ahead and just cross hatch it or something and get it into a show so everyone can see it would be great. But no, I'm going to take. I think that thing of like taking your time with it, I think is really, really good, really, really good advice. Okay, so Patricia says she has Skulliver, have it sorted but haven't started it yet. I think the Skulliver is a great pattern. I thought about that one, but I don't know that I'd ever use it. It's not really my aesthetic, um, and that sort of thing. There's one that I think would be really fun. That the Halloween one that they did recently. It looks like a stained glass window. I think if I was to do another one, and I've actually started enjoying it. Like I really was. Oh my goodness! Like first of all, I was terrified of it, and then I was like, "Am I going to enjoy this?" And I've only sewn on 5 pieces so far, which you'll get to see tomorrow. So it's not like I'm anywhere close to being done because I think it has 1,200 and some pieces. So we still have a lot of way to go. But so far, I am enjoying the process. It's very slow because I am brand new at this. I am taking my time. I do not want to have to rip.
Yeah,
So
no.
definitely taking my time. But so far, it's enjoyable. It's almost like you have to relearn how to walk because it's totally different to the traditional piece.
It
But
really is. It's
yes,
like backwards to me.
it is. Yeah, but I've enjoyed it so far. So there we go. All right. So Jeannie says she's doing Bonnie's, but she's so far behind. I'm behind on everything, but really enjoy the journey. Don't worry about if you're caught up and that sort of thing there. Unless there's now, if you're chasing a prize that, like sometimes they offer prizes for finishing on time and that sort of thing there, if that's something that you really want to get, then yeah, you might want to make the effort to um, finish on time. But otherwise, just enjoy the journey. Take your time. Like I finished a lot of those solo-longs months, if not years behind. And I don't think it really matters. Like just have fun with it. All right, so let's see. Someone was asking about the barn sample. What's the name of this art east project that I just signed up for? Um, the Farm Fresh sampler is what it's called.
It's really cute. I love it in the
Yes.
two tones. Like they had one of those.
Yeah, it's designed to be two tones, but I'm not doing that. I've decided that I'm going to do like one color background and maybe get some grunge or something for each of the sheep because I want the pig to be pink. I want that sort of thing there. So I want to do more than two colors, but we'll see what happens. What happens from there? Melissa has asked me here, have I thought about being a legit kit instructor? The answer to that is probably I would. At this point in time, and I'll never say never, but at this point, it's not something that interests me. It's a lot of work. It's and a lot of expense because you have to go out to Kansas City, I think it is. Shannon went through this a year or two ago, and I just don't know that I would have. I don't think I'd find I don't think I'd get the return on it. I think that's more suited to someone that is foundation paper pieced focused, which I am not. But let's talk about that in a year or two. Maybe I'll think about it in a year or two, and I'll think, hey, it's a great idea. At this point, the answer is no, but you just never know. But I am really enjoying the process more than I thought I would so far as well. So yeah, you never say never. I have thought about maybe doing like being an instructor or something at a quilt show. I thought that'd be a lot of fun, but I've got to figure out what I'd even teach. Like, what would I teach? What could I do that people would even be interested in? Let me know in the comments. I didn't know what sort of qualifications you need to be an instructor at a quilt show. Like, because they have classes at most of these shows, and I'm so close to a lot of them. Maybe that's something I could do in the future. So,
Yeah. I have no idea, but yeah, could be fun.
I don't know. Maybe I could do like a quick and easy stitch and flip thing, like
Yeah.
something like that. I mean, that's kind of where my specialty is, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's always good to have these ideas in your head, and then you also got to find the time to do all this fun stuff
Right.
too, which is half the problem. But that's okay. All right, let's see. Okay, Annette says here that she might try getting behind a sewing machine this weekend and try one-handed sewing / piecing. If it works, I might start recording it. I can't cut anything yet. That is awesome. Like she is incapacitated at the moment. She got injured last year. Not last year, this year. I'm already in 2025, so bear with me. But yeah, if you can sew one-handed, that is impressive. I have tried it a couple of times while I've recorded. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But that would be fantastic if you can do that. All right, so everyone's saying good morning to everybody else here. Okay, so I did have some other questions here for you, but we'll leave those for just a little bit because it's more about our little challenge that we're coming. We got to talk about just a little later on. We're very, very excited about our challenge that we've given to each other. And as I said, some of you already know about this because we talked about it last week over on your lives. So hang on, just trying to make sure I do this right.
Oh, Andy says you'd be a great teacher, Sean, and there's no qualifications necessary. Just write a proposal and go for it.
Great. Yeah, as I said, I don't know yet. I haven't committed to anything, obviously.
Yeah, it's
But
just something to think about, right? Like now you'll be thinking about it in the back of your head, and when you do something, you're like, "Ooh, this might make a fun course," right? You can just
yeah, I was going to come up with something like I'm thinking stitch and flip. I think that's definitely where I would excel the best. But you know, what would I teach? You know, I probably have to come up with my own pattern, which I'm trying to do among other projects. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And there's a quilt show 20 minutes up the street every year, so yeah, maybe I can do that. See if anyone signs up. I'll have to do it. We'll have to do a test run here first. You know,
Yeah.
a Zoom day or something. You can all be like skinny pigs.
So earlier I said I was in Libs Elliott's Sew Squad, and she's teaching a course up at the QuiltCon this year. Well, the one that's coming up, and she
Yeah.
did a test run with some people in the squad before she did it to just get it practiced. I think she did, or she was talking about it. I don't know. But that was her idea as well. Test it
I'll
out.
being a teacher at QuiltCon would be fun. You know, that's like that'd be a huge achievement because that's such a huge show. I didn't really see the classroom. I saw some of the classrooms at the convention center, but I didn't really go look because I was only down there for the one day and I wasn't going to spend half of it sitting in the classroom. So
Right.
that'd be a lot of fun. Good morning, Miss Heather. It's good to see you. She has her own channel called The Debt Free Quilter, and I think that's her link. We'll see in a minute. I don't know. We'll have to see how that works. That might be a 2026, 2027
Yeah.
project. It won't be this year because I think, yeah, if you wanted to be instructed, you'd have to have your plans and stuff in already, which, I'm just talking about it today for the first time. So I don't think that's going to happen. We'll see what happens anyway. All right. So, yeah. If I do become an instructor, you'll need to come down and sign up for it.
For sure.
That'd be fun. I don't think it'll be FPP. If you're looking for an FPP class for me to teach, you might be waiting a while.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So Melissa says she hopes she comes to the 2026 QuiltCon. Yeah, that'd be fun too. 2026 is coming back to Raleigh, which is nice because it'd be fun to go out to Arizona, but the idea of spending $600 on an airline ticket plus hotels and everything else is not my idea of fun. So, especially when a year later I can just get in the car and drive 2.5 hours and be there. So
I think I might try to go to the North Carolina one too.
it was a really nice. I enjoyed the show a lot.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, if you go to drive down there, you might want to stay a couple of days.
Yeah.
I just go down for the day because
Yeah, I would too if it was 2 hours away.
yeah, I don't know. We're really lucky where I live because we have Hampton 20 minutes up the street, Raleigh's a couple of hours down the road, and then we're getting Quilt to Virginia in June, which is in Richmond, which is the same show as Road to California. They're coming out to the East Coast for the first time next year, and it's like 90 minutes up the road. So like, I have all these beautiful quilt shows nearby that I can go visit.
I did book a hotel room for the Virginia one, but we'll have to see if I'm in the mood to drive when it gets closer.
You need to come down for that one, so that way you and I can meet in person and say hi and that sort of thing.
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I ended up getting one room one night, and then I changed it, and I did 2 nights for Friday and Saturday. So
I think Friday and Saturday is probably good. I go down there for a couple of days because like that was the one thing about QuiltCon that it for me it was like going down back to the day is definitely doable, but it was very rushed. You get there at
right.
10, and by the time you run around, like I just especially if you want to go shopping. If you want to go shopping, you definitely would need 2 days at QuiltCon. If you just want to go down and look at the quilts real quick, hug some people, shake some hands, say hi to everybody, you can definitely do it in a day. But yeah, if you want to do any more in-depth shopping or anything else like that, I think you definitely need day 2. And I'd love to hear comments from anyone else that went down to QuiltCon at any point in their lives to see what your thoughts are as well there as well. Well, there we go. See, I think Kathleen is my idea specialist. I normally I have my friend Dragonfly, so Donna helped me with that as well. But she says, how about quilt block design on the go the Stitchits idea as a class in combination of cotton cuts. That would be short, and everybody could leave the block. That would be a neat class. Now that may be just an idea, like maybe partner with cotton cuts and do a class based on that.
Or you could even just, like when it comes to scraps, having people cut their scraps and organize their scraps into like pre-cuts, like they pre-cut themselves their scraps. And then you have block ideas for those.
Yeah, I've seen some classes where it's like, how to use your scraps and that sort of thing there, and they tell you to bring a bag of scraps and that sort of thing there. But other classes, like the instructor requires you to purchase a kit. So that could be an option too, where I talk to Kim and Paula and say, okay, look, I'm thinking about doing this. I mean, I'm sure they would jump on board. I don't know. So yeah, these are great ideas. I love that idea. Like the Stitch and Flip's kind of what I'm thinking about, but maybe some sort of pre-cut thing with cotton cuts, and we come up with an idea. Maybe with the Stitchits, you get a little bag of Stitchits and or the bags of snippets, which is what I made this thing out of. Like, give everyone a bag of snippets and say, okay, here's some ideas of what you can come up with. And I don't know. Now the creative juices are flowing, so we'll have to see what comes up in the next little bit. But then again, I don't know. Do we really want to spend? Do I really need another thing to put on my plate?
That's always the question. If it doesn't spark joy, I'm not doing it. If it feels like work, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I already got a job.
Everything I do here, I love, but it just seems like I never have enough time to do half of what I want to do. So, all right, let's see. Patricia says she's not planning on QuiltCon, but would love to go to road to California. Excellent. Good morning to Miss Ginger. It's good to see you. Let's go ahead and throw your link in real quick. Donnell is here with us as well, and she has a wonderful channel, and she'll be live at 10 a.m. shortly after me. Usually I kick off the day unless Lisa or Leanna start off the day. Sometimes they get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and get going. And then, after I go, it's usually Miss Donnell, and then who's after that? Russ, but I think he's down with somewhere in Georgia, Stephanie Stitch's retreat. So I don't know if they're watching this morning, but if you are, Stephanie and Russ and Walter and Stephen, if you're watching, good morning. It's good to see each and every one of you. And if you're not watching, I still hope you have a good day. So anyway, where was I going with that?
I don't know.
Who knows? Anyway, it wasn't that important. Okay, let's see. Am I doing this right? I think so. Yes. Okay. All right. Good morning, Miss Chloe. I saw you popping earlier. I don't know if I said good morning to you or not, but good morning to you. I do have a plan for your. Chloe sent me this beautiful pattern here last week. It's the snowflake that I have seen at the state fair. I think I talked about it on one of my videos a few months ago. She sent me the pattern for that, and I'm thinking I'm going to do that one in the first half of next year and showcase that on my 12 days of Christmas in July.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Still got to figure out what colors I'm going to do and all that sort of stuff there as well.
That's the fun part.
Yeah. Rita says here she's only an hour away from going to QuiltCon. I'm not sure about going. Okay. So let me tell you this. I was, like, as I said earlier, I was like 2.5 hours away, from QuiltCon. And even like the morning of, I was like, I don't know that I want to get in the car and drive all that way. I almost talked myself out of it, but my mate Larry and Russ said, okay, look, you need to get your tail in the car and get down here. And I'm so glad I did. If you're close enough and you have the ability to go to the show, you will love it. Just being able to go see everybody. I love just being able to see all the people. Like, it was just really neat. And that sort of thing there. If you're an hour away and you have the transportation to go at least once. I think I paid more for parking than I did for the ticket. A one-day ticket to QuiltCon is like $15 or $16. It wasn't expensive. So, but yeah, if you're able to go, just go. That's my recommendation. As coming from someone that almost talked themselves out of it. So there we go. All right. Happy says she may not be here long. Was awoken by my NOA going up. Oh no, that's something to do with not hurricanes. What those other things called? Tornadoes, right? Janine says she definitely needs to make some projects to it using her mouth into scraps. Okay, yeah, don't we all? I'm slowly using my scraps, which is nice. I'm actually seeing a dent, which is nice. So, okay, staying ahead. Okay. Lisa says, hi, everyone. I'm trying to complete my last quilt for the year going into 2025 with no tops to quilt. That is a fantastic thing there, Lisa. That is one of my goals for next year is to try and reduce the amount of quilt tops that I have and actually quilt some of them. I don't know how far I'll get. I'm just saying I want to have less. So if I have to go through and count them. So let's say I have 15, I want to have 14 or less at the end of the year. I don't want to say I'm going to get them all done. That's just not going to happen. I know that in my heart. But if I can make it less than what I started with, I'm going to take that as a win. So
my goal was to do a similar thing, like including getting that one that's behind me quilted, but I don't see that happening now. 3 days to go and that thing isn't even pasted yet.
That's all right. Yeah.
It's always next year.
All right. Rita says the price this year is $20.20 per day. Okay. All right. So it's a little more expensive this year, but yeah, but they also sell like a 4-day ticket. So if you want to go more than one day, you're better off buying the 4-day ticket, and then you get like a cool name tag with your name on it, and you can get like these special things that go on it, like it's like special. I forget. I don't know how to explain it, but they're like little things you put on the bottom, and it says like first time attendee or exhibitor and all that sort of stuff there, and that's kind of fun as well. But yeah, if you're close enough, yeah, I would definitely recommend going. So yeah, it looks like tornadoes are down. We either have tornadoes in December, or is that just my imagination? I don't know. Maybe it is down there in Tornado Alley.
Must be.
I do remember once I was flying from Australia over here, and I got to Los Angeles airport, and I was watching the news, and I was saying there was like one day a year in the springtime, and it's different each year, is the day you don't want to be flying because there's like tornadoes all up and down the center of the country. And what day was that? The day I was flying across the country.
Well, of course.
So I was flying from Los Angeles to DC, and that's like pretty much a straight shot in the middle of the country. It was that bad. Like the turbulence was pretty rough. They didn't serve any drinks or anything for the first 2 hours of the flight, and we were skirting the Canadian border.
Wow.
We actually came down to DC via New York. Like we flew over we probably flew over your house. Yeah. I mean, we made it. It wasn't like a super bad flight. It's just like it was just a lot of. It was a lot of extra miles.
Yeah. Janine,
yeah, very, very, very.
That is
strange.
tempting. Janine offered to. We don't live so far apart. She offered to let me use her long arm to get that quilt done. I would take you up on that if I wasn't afraid that I would give you whatever sickness, whatever. Well, you might be immune to elementary school kids' sicknesses. She's a bus driver, so she's around those.
Yeah, she probably is immune to everything. Like those.
She's probably got the strongest immune system of anybody here. Those teachers and bus drivers.
I always call it like a CDC dream lab, mobile dream lab, a school bus. Yeah, I'm thinking Janine probably is immune to everything. So, all right, so we got this strip done. We are making progress.
Oh, I like it.
I do too. I think these are really fun fabrics. And we're not seeing as many here, but as we go into like the greens and the blues and that, we are seeing a lot of florals. And if anybody knows me at all, knows me, I'm not a florals fan, but I really have been enjoying these ones so far, which is nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't, I like solids, but some of those florals are I am tempted by florals sometimes.
I like florals when they're in like a boutique floral. I love like there's very few floral boutiques I don't enjoy, but I'm slowly coming over to the floral side. Like the more I see and the more I work with these, and I think this is a really good takeaway from this project, is that I am starting to like florals more. And I haven't. I would not be surprised at all if my friends at Cotton Cuts do send me one of those floral um,
Oh,
things, like, because I told them, I said, that's probably my least favorite option. But I said, I said, if that's what you decide to send me, that's fine. I will make it. I'll put a smile on my face and be happy with
right.
it. And yeah, I don't know, like, we talked about that in person a few weeks ago about different options. I know they are not sending me the purple batiks. They said that's too easy for you. You've done it too many times. We got to send you something else. I really have no clue what I'm doing. But is it going to be a floral, or are they going to do something else? We'll just have to wait and see as well. So there we go. All right. Um, Kathleen Davis says here, I would have thought I'd had everything by now as a teacher, but I get sick almost every fall or winter. My wife is the same way. She is an middle school and high school English teacher, and you'd think after 20 some years that she'd be immune too. But I think teachers, I don't think it's hard to realize how hard they work until you actually are one or are married to one or something like that. I think you guys are just so exhausted by the time Christmas break comes around. You just get sick, unfortunately. So that's what I think it is there for the teachers. But then again, I'm not a teacher. I don't know that I could handle the kids. It's not my love language. But yeah, I think that's why. But yeah, it might be the same thing as the school bus drivers. You might be all tired of the kids by the time break comes around too. So
Sure.
because not only you have to deal with the rowdy kids in the back of your bus, you got to deal with all the idiot drivers floating around there as well. Like, my hat's off to all the bus drivers. Y'all do an amazing job. So there we go. All right. And Nez says she's not a floral person, but I love batiks. Let's see. Christina says, as a member of the Modern Quilt Guild, I was able to get free tickets to the one in Raleigh this year. My daughter lives in Apex and has a short commute. And that is true. If you are a member of the Modern Quilt Guild, they do open it up. What is it, in the fall? I think it is, that you can get a free ticket, like a free pass to the QuiltCon. So if you are interested in doing a 4-day ticket, I think it's a good idea to sign up for the Modern Quilt Guild, because then that way you're basically getting, like, you're getting, for the price of the membership, you're getting the QuiltCon as well. So that's always a good option. Like, but I think that there's a window where it closes, and I'm not sure if it's closed yet or not. But go take a look if it's still open. You can spend $50 on a 4-day ticket, or you can spend $50 on a membership and get a 4-day ticket for the same price. So there we go. All right. So Rita says, I have a dislike for this time of year as the weather does me in due to bronchial asthma. There's no way I would have patience for kids. Now, I suffer from bronchitis a lot this time of year, or at least I used to. And I had a doctor tell me once to get one of those misters or humidifiers in the house, and that has worked wonders. So if you struggle with that, I recommend going out and buying one of those. They're like $20 on Amazon or at the drugstore. They're really, really good. Okay, good morning to Miss Nancy. It's good to see you. Let's see. Yeah, my hobby. Kathy says all the bugs morph each year into something new. I worked in a community college and university setting and stayed sick all the time. Yeah, that's definitely true. It's always a new strain. Okay, let's see. Janine says batiks is her love language. Yes, I know that. I've seen some. I love the ones that you always. The batiks she uses are always super pretty. Yeah, one of the ladies I had early this year, Brittany from what was her channel name? She's a ambassador for I think it's Island Boutiques. It was like I need to be an ambassador for somebody's boutique. Mine that'd be a lot of fun. But again, I had to do more stuff. So I don't know if I really want to
I
take
think
that on
Andy does
either.
that
But
too.
sorry.
Andy, I think Andy works with that company too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think it's
And
Island Boutique.
Andy loves boutiques as well.
Yes, and she does beautiful work with what she does as well.
I've never really dabbled with some. I bet I would like them if I ever venture
I've
away from my Kona cotton.
Well, the beauty of boutiques too is, like, if you like the Kona cotton, and I'm a huge fan of Kona cotton, as everybody normally knows. Boutiques are very much like a solid, where they're really apparently there is a right and a wrong side, but if you can figure it out, good luck to you. I mean, you don't really have to worry about a right and a wrong side of the batik. You can just kind of go with it. And I've always done batiks with my puzzle mystery quilts, and this Wild West one I'm doing right now is the first time it hasn't been a batik. And I actually have to sit there and figure out the right and the wrong side, so I don't do it back.
Yeah.
Before, it's just like, oh, here we are, 2 pieces of fabric, away we go. Have some fun. So, oh, that's true. Janine says that quilt behind you would be fabulous in batiks.
Maybe I'll need to make it in batiks.
You do. I think you do. I really, really do. That'd be fun. So, all right. Heather says she bought a whole house humidifier for $150, and I bought filters and an anti-algae treatment. We've had it 3 years now. How did that work out for you? Is it working, do you think, there, Heather? I'd love to hear your input on that one. We have some sort of special filter in our HVAC system, and I think, you know, we spent a lot of money on it, but I think it does work. I don't seem to get as sick when I'm at home. Nikki B says she loves batiks too. I was taught the more crisp lines on the design is the right side. Okay, I'll have to take a look at that. As I said, I've heard people say, yes, there is a right and a wrong side, but I didn't know how to tell the difference. I suppose I could have Googled it, but, you know, you just talk about it on a live and let someone else tell you. That's what I love about the viewers is, like, you know, you guys, between us all, we have hundreds, if not thousands of years of experience. And, you know, just, yeah, I love being able to learn from you guys as well. All right, I'm going to do the sparrows. Joe says I'm going to do the sparrows pattern in all batiks. Already picked it out. It's going to be awesome. I came very close to doing toasty in all batiks, but I think for my first go round, I need to stick with my Kona cottons. I might throw some batiks in here and there. A couple of people suggested that I do some of the Kona sheen, and I'm definitely thinking about doing that in some of the parts of toasty. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So stay tuned. It'll be there we go. All right. Heather says it works nicely during the cold weather. Electric heat just dries out everything so badly. Okay. All right. There we go. And Ned says I have asthma as well. The cold is hard on me, and look where I live. Ha ha. She lives up there in Newfoundland and Canada. So yeah, she doesn't do well in the cold. Not the best place to live, but you know, you do what you have to do. Yeah, I think this is about as far north as I'll ever go.
Not a bad idea to stay south.
Yes. Well, this time of year, I'm used to it being like 85, 90 degrees. So I'm still getting used to the idea of winter being, Christmas being cold.
Yeah. Janine says, I pay for both sides of my fabric, so whichever side I like the best is what I do.
I like that. I was just reading that comment when you were talking about.
That's funny. I pay for both sides. I like it.
All right, so let's go ahead and throw another poll up real quick, because I ask this question all the time, but I just don't care. It doesn't matter to me. What do you prefer? We'll see if we have anyone else on our side. So we'll have solids, batiks, or prints, and that can include, you know, we'll put blenders as well. And that way, for our friends that like to use grunge and all that sort of mess, they can do that as well. I love using all of these, but I think if I was given a choice, I'd probably stick to I think solids is probably my favorite, then batiks, and then blenders, and then prints are probably I love prints. There's a lot of prints I love, but it's probably the one I don't use as much as everything else, because I work with tiny pieces, so I need a lot of times prints get lost in my designs. So maybe that's why I don't use them a lot.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. I was like, I think people have mentioned that before. Like, you know, you work with all the tiny pieces. So yeah, I don't need those big prints. You have to pick a favorite there, Heather. She says, you forgot all the above as an answer. I can only use 4 answers, and I want to know which one is your favorite. As I said, I just ranked mine. That is a very good point. Yes.
I've made a couple bags, and I really like prints for bags, which is kind of funny. So I've gotten some fat quarters over the years, won them or bought them before I found that I love solids, and I like making bags out of those.
So while we're talking about fat quarters, some of those might be coming my way soon.
Maybe I got some for you. Nope.
We'll tell you why in just a little bit. Anyway, let's see. Okay, Rita says with the exception, I'm not a fan of a solid color. Okay, yeah, it seems like solids. Like there are a few fans out there of them, which apparently Tasha is, and I am too. But yeah, a lot of folks tend to gravitate more towards other options. And so far, let's look at our options. It looks like Prince is 53%, and then we have Batiks at 30%. Blenders at 10 and solids at 7%. Okay,
really?
so that's okay though. Like, we all like different things. I love solids for a lot of reasons, especially because it's half the price of a print. So I can get 2 yards for the price of one. It's always like a buy one, get one half off sale for me. So
I never actually even realized that. I guess that makes sense though.
yeah, I mean, a yard of Kona, depending on where you go, is anywhere between $6 and $8 a yard US, whereas a print can be anywhere up to 15 or 16 now. So yeah, you really are looking at half the price or thereabout, maybe 30-40% off or half. Yeah, it depends on where you go. All right, Kathy says she needs to run. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us for a little while. It's always good to have my friend Kathy on. If you haven't checked out her channel, go ahead and duck over there and say hi. All right, let's see. All right, Kay says it's 70 degrees in Texas, 32 degrees in Iowa. She might not go home. Yeah. Well, you can always hang out at your family's house for the winter, right? Go be a snowbird for a little while. I see no shame in that. I did that for a while before I moved here. I spent the summers over here. I didn't see winter for like 18 months. I come over here for the summer. I go back to Australia for a while, and then there we go.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Patricia says she uses solids for background. That's an option. Awesome option. Jeez, what's wrong with me today? Margie says I bought 3-yard cuts on sale at Missouri Star, white, black, purple, and red. All good for a background. Definitely.
I actually bought my first bolt of fabric this year, and I got black. I love black with a bright color. So
yeah,
I bought a bolt of black.
I got a bolt a year or two ago. It's the Kona Pepper.
Oh, nice.
Which is, I love that color as a background. It's not quite black. It's a very, very dark gray. I ended up picking it up by default a few years ago because it was during the pandemic. You could not buy black fabric to save your life. But they had, because everyone was using a face mask and everything else. And so I found this bolt of Kona Pepper on the shelf, and I'm like, well, that's close enough. We'll use that. And I really prefer to use that over black because it's not quite as crisp and sharp as a black, so it doesn't kind of stand out and punch in the face like a black would. So that's always, and I just kind of used that ever since. And I have a bolt to that now. Like I went a couple of years ago and got a bolt of it, and they're like, how much do you want? I said, I want the whole thing.
Perfect.
They looked at me strange, like no one had ever done that before. So like you don't have to cut anything. Just if it says, I think it said 15 yards. I said, just
hand it to me.
Hand it to me, send me on my way.
Yeah, my friend Brenda says she has to go. She's teaching a new quilter how to put her borders on and then long arming it. Bye, Brenda. Thanks for coming.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, those long arms scare me. I think I'm going to leave those to the specialists. What was I doing? All right.
I'll have to check out some Amish quilts, Janine. I'm not sure I've ever really seen any. I'm going to give that a Google.
Oh, the Amish quilts are beautiful. If you ever end up in like the Lancaster, Pennsylvania area, you need to go look at some. Like I wandered into this store where they sold a lot of the Amish quilts, and they weren't they were not as expensive as I thought they would be. But just the amount of work that these ladies put into it is just amazing. If you ever get a chance to go see um, the work that these ladies put in, I'm assuming it's ladies. There may be some gentlemen, Amish people that make quilts, but I just don't know that that'll be part of their culture. But you never know. Maybe I'm wrong. If you know of any gentlemen Amish quilters, let me know. I'd love to hear that answer. You just never know. All right. Patricia says she buys Riley Blake solids by the bolt. Yeah, buying it by the bolt. If you're going to use a lot of it, it's really good because in that way you can just kind of cut off what you want. You're not running to the quilt shop every 5 minutes, and you're probably going to end up saving money because you're not making impulse purchases while you're there. So.
Right. And if I bought my bolt, I don't think it was a 15-yard bolt, but I do think it was off Missouri Star. I think it was like a 10 or a 12. I can't remember now. And I got mine on sale too. Like, so I waited for a sale and then, definitely was worth it when I did the math.
Yeah, I think each bolt's different. Like I've seen 10-yard bolts, 8-yard bolts, 12, 15. Yeah. Like it's not ever a set number. It's not like a gallon or something like that. I'm just trying to make sure I do this right. I haven't had to pull up my very, very bestest friend in a while. I'm trying to keep it that way. Nancy says she lives by several Amish. They are amazing sewists. Oh, just if you ever get a chance to see some of their work, you need to go take a look at it. Like it is absolutely amazing. Like I want to go back and see more of it. If I had the money, I would have bought one just to have at home, but I couldn't afford it at the time. So and to think that they're doing it either by hand or by treadle is amazing too. All right. Good morning, Leanna. We were talking about you earlier, which was nice. It's good to see you. She says, hello all. How's everyone doing? I'm currently laying on my blow-up mattress and tent. I may have overdone it a bit. Okay. I'll have to listen to that story later on. That'd be interesting. There he is. Janine says long arms are not scary. I think it's like anything else. Once you get used to them, I'm sure they're fine. But right now they terrify me. I don't have the room for one or the money. So there we go. Okay, Joyce says she missed most of the live sick doggy. We'll catch up by watching replay. I'll see you all in the chat. So we are praying for the doggo. It's never fun to see a fur baby sick. Not at all. So we are sending good vibes your way. Hopefully doggo does well. Just trying to make sure I don't miss too much. Let's see. Annette says here, my Amish neighbor had me teach her daughters to sew and quilt. That is awesome. Rita says here she got a hold of Batiks fabrics on one side. It was black and tiny white dots on the other. The other side was like black dots, but it looked like clouds too. Fabrics from one. Oh, that's fun. Donelle says she'd love to go visit the Amish area and see how to make quilts. It'd be really cool. And they have a lot of wonderful fabric stores in that area too. So take your wallet with you while you're there.
Yeah, I think we have a Mennonite store somewhere nearby here that I've been meaning to go visit.
Yeah, there's a Mennonite store up in the mountains that we go visit whenever we're nearby because they have all sorts of good stuff. So yeah, you definitely need to go check it out. They usually have some really good stuff, and it's usually very, very well priced. Well, at least the one up in the mountains is. I can't imagine yours to be any different.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you ever get up into like the Lancaster area,
yeah, it's not too far from me. I mean, it's a drive, but it's not. It's definitely in the realm of possibilities.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Well, we stopped there for a couple of days on the way back from. We went up to New York, then Toronto, Niagara Falls, Toronto. The only reason we went to Toronto was to go see a baseball game.
Oh.
And then came down to Lancaster for a couple of days because my father and stepmom wanted to see that, and yeah, we had a lot of fun. We actually ended up going to quite a few fabric stores. My stepmom bought a bunch of fabric while she was there because it was like a third of the price it was back in Australia. So,
Oh yeah, I believe that. Donnell says, "Okay, Sean. So what you're saying is bring my husband's credit card. She's got it. Thanks."
yes, yeah, you don't want to go there empty-handed, because yeah, there are some really, 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 really good stores. Where is that place we went to? Hang on, let me go take a look. Just now.
Oh, Nikki says I bought my Bernita from the Mennonites. They have a great store in Barnett, Missouri. How neat.
Very nice. All right. All right, we're about to find out what's going on. Is that it? Old Country Store. Okay, so the place we went and found all this wonderful stuff was in Intercourse, Pennsylvania. There's I think that's where it was. Hang on. Yeah, it looks like it. Kitchen in Nancy's. Yeah, that's where it is. I think Janine and crew have been there because I remember when at one of Donna's retreats recently, they all went to that area and went shopping, if I remember correctly.
Oh, fun.
But yeah, there was a quilt shop there that we went to, I think called the Old Country Store. There was a couple others we walked into as well. And yeah, it was just really, really neat. And sometimes like you'll see the Amish ladies go in there and do their shopping as well.
Nice.
I'm almost certain this was the right place. All right, let's see. Good old Google Street View will tell me all my answers. Hang on, this looks familiar. Yeah, that's it. Okay, because that's where we went for lunch. Yeah, so, but that's very close to Lancaster. It's in the same sort of area. So there you go. All right. Good morning, Sherry. Is it Sherry or Cherie? I'm bad with names. She is starting her own channel. So if you haven't had a chance to see it, go check it out when you get a chance. We'll have to get her link in very, very soon. Lisa says she needs an Amish community near her. I would have them do an old-fashioned barn raising or quilt cottage in my case. There you go. That's an idea. Janine says, yes, 2 years ago at Donna's retreat, we did take a field trip to Lancaster Old Country Store. It's one of the places we went. Yeah, that's a wonderful store. There's one across the other side of the street. It looks like it's in this old house, but it's like really, really long. And there's like a million bolts of fabric in there. And they're like across the street from each other. So like it's a really, really neat place to visit. So if you're ever in that area, plan half a day there at least and just go shopping and yeah, take your husband's credit card with you. But don't spend too much money because you got to pay that thing off at the end. So, yeah, okay. Good morning, Bettina. It's good to see you as well. I can't believe that was 2 years ago. I felt like it was like last summer or something that Jill did that. Amazing how time flies. All right, so it's a little after 9 o'clock, and we said we'd wait till most people are here already, which I think we are. So, whose idea was it to do this challenge? Was it mine or was it yours?
I'm not sure.
Oh, me either. I can't remember. I know who it was. Either your idea or I borrowed inspiration from you. So we'll give Tasha credit for it regardless. But we decided that in January, we all come up with resolutions and goals and that sort of thing for the new year. And a lot of us will decide to go exercise, and 2 weeks later, we're going to quit. But we figured we'd do something a little more fun. So do you want to tell the viewers what we have decided to do?
So we have decided that we are challenging each other to sew every day in January. So that is 15 minutes a day. And I think it's a little lax. I think Sean and I are on the same page where it's not supposed to be something crazy. It's supposed to be something that gets you in your space, whether that's your organizing your fabric so that the next day you're ready to sew, whether it's ironing, trimming, just like something that gets you in your sewing space and to be ready for sewing. Find that 15 minutes of you time. So we are challenging each other to do that every single day in January. And do you want to tell them what the penalty is?
Yeah, so we decided to that, it's fun to have a challenge and that sort of thing there. And I think we set 15 minutes because we both work full time. As much as we'd like to have quilting as our full time jobs, it's not. So, sometimes you come home and you're exhausted. It's going to be a struggle to get the 15 minutes some days. And so that's why we set it so low. We thought about 30, maybe. I think we talked about longer, but we're like, okay, let's make it realistic. We want to make, but then we also figured while we were talking on her live last week when we announced this the first time, that there should be a penalty if you fail, because if there's no consequence, you can just say, oh well, it doesn't matter, no one's going to know. So the penalty is if we fail to hit our 15 minutes one day, we owe the other one a fat quarter. And so I have a little thing here that is empty. See, very sad, very empty. And this is where Tasha's fat quarters will go if I fail to hit a day. My goal is to keep this thing empty.
See, and I'm like, fill it up, but I'm also like, no, I want you to sew every day, but also fill it up.
I know, yeah. So she's kind of torn. I'm rooting for Tasha. I want her to hit the 31 days. As much fun as it'd be to get more, free fabric, I want to see her succeed.
Same. I did it in September of last year, and I didn't miss a day. I did 15. It was tough though. There were days I did not want to do it. I can tell you that much.
All right. So Liana is asking, are we morning people? I find waking up early, I can get my sewing in. I find it so hard after work. Yes, I'm definitely a morning person, but during my work week, I do not have time to sew in the morning because by the time I get up and help Amanda get ready and prep lunches for her and I and everything else, it's time to, head out the door and drive to work or get ready for work. So yeah, during the week, I definitely have to do my sewing during the evening hours, which makes it a little more challenging. But we got to make it work. We got to have some fun with this project. So, all right. So, do you have any strategies for this?
So my strategy is one, I'm going to use one of my days early on when I'm still feeling ambitious to prep some EPP blocks. So if I'm feeling like a potato, I can just come home and sit on my couch and sew for 15 minutes, hand sew. So I'm going to do that. And then, I think like just trying to have some things ready to grab and go so I know what I'm doing. Because I feel like if you don't have a project that you can work on, it's harder to make the decision and then sew. So I'm going to just have some things prepped and ready to go.
Yeah, and I think that whole thing about being prepared is good because, if you have to think too hard about it, I think chances you saying, oh, it'll be all right, we'll just do it tomorrow.
Right.
Is far, far more likely. And I've just messed this up. Oh, jeez.
And I don't know if you saw this, Sean, but a little further up in the chat, it says Patricia Browning. It's like highlighted in green. It says it's a new member. So I think that maybe she became a member.
Oh, yes. Oh, sorry. Yes. Okay. So, yes, I'm sorry. I missed that totally. So thank you so much, Patricia. She has joined the membership program, which is an optional program for everybody. It is $1.99 US per month. And you get a couple little perks with that. You get your name in green. You get a little star next to you. And then we sometimes do like early access videos and that sort of thing there as well. So if you want to join the membership program, that'd be fantastic. But I don't ever want to, it's not required. It's not something you have to do. But if you want to, you're more than welcome to, and it's always very, very much appreciated. So thank you for that. I see stuff and then sometimes get distracted and then totally forget. So
it's really hard.
Thank you for that. All right. So how much of this do I have to rip? Because
Yeah,
I put it all.
It is a lot easier when the debt-free quilter says, if I had a dedicated sewing space, it would be much easier to sew. I am so lucky that I have like this space is mine. I can definitely see that if you're like sharing the kitchen table, it's going to be a lot tougher to drag that out and get that going. For sure.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm blessed that commandeered this used to be the dining room, but now it's mine. We don't eat at the dining room anymore.
Carrie says, doing something 20 times consistently becomes a habit. So I will say, like I said, I did this in September. It was great. It was exhausting. And I like posted a video almost every day too, which was kind of like just a little short. But yeah, it really towards the end of that month, it was like I was excited. I had a system in place. But let me tell you what, when October hit and I was done with the challenge, it didn't take me that long to fall out of that habit of sewing every day. I can tell you that. Andrea says, my best sewing time is between 3 a.m. and noon. I'm blessed to be retired, so I can sew when I want for as long as I want. I get about 3 or more hours in a day. That's awesome. I look forward to retirement. I'm not wishing my life away, but when I get there, because I feel like I would be doing the same thing. I'd be like either a night owl or I'd be going to bed early and waking up. Like I love sewing when it's dark out. Like, I don't know. So I could totally see myself do that.
Yeah, for sure. Good morning to Miss Amy. It's good to see you. Yeah, I'm definitely okay. So, that was everything I was going to tell everybody. Thank you for reminding me. Molly says she needs to commit to that. Yes, I was going to encourage people to, if you want to join in on this, please do so. We'd love for you to join in on this. And I think it'd be fun if you have a sewing friend. Encourage them to join you. Make it a challenge. Like Tasha and I have challenged each other. If you have a sewing friend, you don't have to live in the same city, same state, same country, same hemisphere. Challenge them to do a little bit of sewing each month and see, even like you don't have to do the penalty. Like that's just something Tasha and I did for fun. Maybe have a challenge to see who can do the most days. See if you can do 29 days and your friend only does 25, then you get the bragging rights. But I think that'll be a lot of fun. Like we'd love to see a bunch of you join in on this because I think it'd be a good way to kick off 2025. We all have these wonderful goals of, finishing quilt tops or organizing our sewing room or finishing whips that we've had since 1982. That sort of thing there. Like this may get you, along. So, we'd love to see you join us. Okay. So the other questions I had about this was, how do you think you will do at this? Do you think you'll succeed? Do you think you're pretty confident?
I'm going all in. I have a list. I'm ready. How about you?
Okay. I think I'm going to do well. I think I should hit the 31 days. How do you see me doing? I think you're a set. I don't think there's going to be any fat quarters headed my way.
I think you're going to do it too. I think we're in it. I think we're maybe, I don't think there's going to be any fat quarters exchanged. I don't foresee any penalties.
Okay. But it's good having that there because, no consequence.
Yeah. I feel like we're both motivated.
Yeah. We need the consequence though. All right. So let's see. Nikki says she just retired. I absolutely love it. I'm finishing whips and UFOs, but I miss some co-workers and chit-chatting with them. Yeah, I think that would be the hard part about retiring. I'm many, 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 many years away from retiring, so I've got no idea. But I think that would be the one part that you might miss.
Sean, Cora asks, are you two going to get together for another live at the end of the month so we can share on the outcome of your challenge?
I had thought about that briefly, and I think we should. Let's see. We do have a live the 1st of February.
That's open.
Maybe we should have become. I haven't scheduled. I haven't scheduled anything for next year yet, which I need to get on. So if you're available that day, let's have you come back on the 1st, and we can talk about it.
February 1st sounds great.
Okay, well we'll put that on the calendar.
We'll be raggedy and exhausted from our month of sewing. That will be great.
Yes. Okay. So yes, the answer to that question is yes. We'll be coming back together at the end of the month, February 1st, and we'll come back and chat again. and see how we did. I plan on doing maybe like a weekly video, a short or something, just kind of doing an overview of what I got up to. I mean, you also get to see what I did during my podcast, of course, but we'll do a separate little video kind of showing you how I did each day. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet. I might borrow some inspiration from your shorts.
Yeah. Amy, the challenge is to challenge each other for 15 minutes of sewing a day. And the 15 minutes can be like, it's a loose interpretation of sewing, meaning like, ironing, whatever, like something towards your craft, right? So it's loosey goosey a little bit there. You don't have to be putting needle through thread for 15 minutes a day. But, the point is to make that time and keep progress going.
Yep. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So.
Jen says, I need to do 31 days of cutting. My least favorite part of quilting. Maybe I would learn to find joy in that. You know what, Jen? If you do that and all of a sudden you find joy in cutting, you let me know, because that is up there in my least favorite parts as well.
Talking about cutting, I don't dislike it. Which is good because I cut a lot of tiny pieces. But I find it's something you have to do where you just put on a movie, you put on a YouTube video, you put on something that you want, and you just take your time with it. Like, if you rush cutting, you're going to hate it. I think that's at least my opinion. So, yeah, just take your time with it. Like when I cut out my blocks for Art East, I do it for an hour or two. Maybe set yourself some time. Like, say, okay, from 1 to 3, I'm going to cut, and I'm going to watch a movie at the same time. And when that time's up, you put it away. And if you haven't finished cutting everything, you come back to it another time. I've done that many times. Like, if we look at this here, this is a caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, yeah.
It's only half done. I spent an hour or two cutting this out. I put it to the side. I work on something else. Like, you don't have to cut. The quilt police are not going to come bang on your door and haul you off to quilt jail if you don't finish cutting everything in one day. Like, if you just do it bit by bit, that's okay. If that helps you, great. If not, that's okay too. So Chloe says she likes cutting when she uses a stripology ruler. Yeah, there's definitely good options out there with your rulers and that sort of thing there as well. I've found that these things work well for me with my cutting. The what are these called? Trim locks.
Yeah.
When they're the right size. They need to make them in 1/4-inch increments.
So Mama J Enterprises, Andrea says, maybe those of us who have channels can join the challenge and film what we are doing. That we have daily content and will keep us honest. I think that's a great idea. More the merrier. And if you go back in some of my shorts, you can see what I did, which really helped my channel kind of help me gain momentum. Is I kind of did time lapses and voiceovers every day for the shorts, and I really liked them, and I found a lot of people who liked watching them, so that was wonderful. Hold on, there was one other comment I wanted to, and hi Jess, there was one other comment I wanted to make sure we talked about, and now I can't find it. Oh wow.
Jen says she needs to do 31 days of cutting my lease plate. Yeah. Oh, that's right. You already mentioned that. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to see if other channels are interested in joining in, doing their own 31 days, jump in on it. As long as I didn't want to suggest that until I got approval from Tasha. But yeah, if you all want to join in, have at it. I think it'd be fun if a lot of us did it. So yeah, no
more the merrier.
Yeah.
It's all about just finding time for yourself, right? Like, especially for me, I mean, I have 2 little kids, but I know that even if you don't have 2 little kids, like, life is busy, right? Whether you're caretaking parents, pets, exchange students, spouses, just life, right, is busy. And so finding time, whatever that is for yourself, is great. And and it does, if you're trying to start a channel, it helps you, figure out how that all works and stuff. Oh, I remember what the comment was, but I can't find it again. Somebody had asked, do you think going live for 15 minutes a day would help keep you accountable, Sean, or if it would be harder? I think it would be harder to set up the live each day and then do my 15 minutes live, but that's an interesting idea to think about, maybe doing a few of the 15 minutes live.
I don't know that I have the bandwidth for that.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
with my sewing space here, if I had a dedicated room, like a closed off room, then yes, I could probably hop in 15 minutes a day and that sort of thing there and do that. But I'm in the sheds, but like this dining room is an open floor plan and goes straight into the living room. So yeah, my recording hours are very, very limited. Usually it's usually early in the morning or very, very late at night. So, and then I'm useless late at night. Like I don't do weeknight lives usually because of that. Like I'm just mentally spent. So yeah, it'd be fun to do a live each day, but I
It'd
don't
be
know.
too
I really
tough.
don't think that's really a possibility, but
And
yeah, I
it
love
like
the idea.
amps it up. So I do know that YouTube, I'm glad somebody asked that question because I know that you can do like from your phone, like vertical lives, kind of
Yeah.
like TikTok. So I've never tried that. I might be inspired to try that now. Not every day or anything, but maybe I'll try to do a pop-up live. I do lives once a week and they're, very organized. So I have gone live on TikTok before, but that was where I first went live, but I've never done that on YouTube. So I don't know, something to think about, but definitely amps it up. Going live definitely makes it, you know, a lot harder.
Maybe that can be our 2026 challenge.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, and hi Zaza, I didn't see you.
Yeah, so as I was like, I mean, I don't know if I said hi or not. I'm a slacker,
No, there's just a lot of chatter going on.
which is
But
good. I
yeah,
absolutely love seeing the chat move. Like, I just think it means that people are enjoying themselves and all that sort of stuff there as well. So yeah, it looks like a lot of people are saying they're interested in joining in and that sort of thing there as well.
I think
So
I'm gonna maybe make a community post every so often. I haven't thought about this through, or maybe something in my Facebook group. For people if they want to be like, here's what I did, you take a picture or something.
oh, that'd be
Um,
fun. Yeah.
but I haven't given that too much thought. It's 4 days away. Like why rush and commit to plans? But
Why don't we say that? Like, let's just put it out there right now. Like, why we're thinking about it is like you have your Facebook group and I have my Discord group. And we would, if you are joining in on the challenge, we would love to see your
love it.
progress or just tell us once a week or something. Like, just go in there and write, okay, look, this is what I got achieved this week. Write down what you did each day. Make it a little diary. I mean, that's kind of what I plan on doing, like a video diary, I guess, of what I get done each day. It'll be really fun for you to all look back at the end of the month and go, look how much I've achieved. So I'd love to hear your progress. Write a paragraph or something on either group and say, this is what I got done today. Monday I did this. Tuesday, blah blah. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to see what progress you made because you'll get to see what I did. I think that'd be really fun. So yeah, definitely do that on either or both platforms.
Yeah. And Kathleen, I love like the idea is a really good idea, the going live to help like right like if we lived in a world where we're like, okay, Sean, we need both of us or even just one of us, if he was going live every day at 7 is a perfect time. But I think like at this stage of our lives, it's a little crazy.
Yeah,
Um
I can't. I really cannot commit to that, unfortunately. As much as I'd like to, yeah.
yeah.
If I had this week off, maybe, but
Yeah. But
um,
thank you for the idea though, Kathleen. It was a great idea. I can totally
oh, for
see.
sure. And that might again, like if we planned um plan this ahead of time again next year, maybe we can do like maybe not every day, but maybe we could do a live once a week together or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, like I always love hearing people's ideas. Sometimes we can do it, sometimes we can't, sometimes we do something modified, but please always give us your ideas. I always love hearing suggestions and ideas. I can't do them all, but if it's going to work for us, then absolutely there as well.
Well, and that
So
idea, oh yeah, Kathleen's like, I was thinking totally absolutely random. I'm with you, Kathleen, though. Like I think I might actually try to do it not every day, but a pop-up live. You've given inspired me to give it a try.
yeah, maybe I will too. Like if everyone disappears off the bed real early, you
Yeah.
might see me at 9:30 at night. I'm It may happen, maybe I'll do the same sort of thing, when it can happen. But yeah, just I can really only like lives. Usually, I can really only commit to Saturday morning because I'm in the shared space and everything else. It's hard to do too much else. I don't want to tell the girls they have to be silent for an hour or
Yeah.
15 minutes while we do a live. So there we go. Amy says you can do it vlog diary style, record a quick clip every day to post all together like a report at the end of the week. Yes, that's basically that's kind of what the vision I have for myself. So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking would be fun. So we'll see how but that's kind of the brain space that I'm thinking of as well. So,
I think I'm gonna
but
try
yeah,
something similar as well.
but you're
Like
talking about sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think I might try to do the shorts again every day and then compile like a long form, like weekly recap. Cause I know like not just for fun to be honest with you, I like doing both. So I'm gonna do both because that's what I like to do.
You do such a great job with the shorts. I think you'll do great with that. So, I think I'll probably just do one a week. Like I'll record every day, release at the end of the week. But then if everybody wants me to do it every day, then I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Stay tuned, and you'll see what happens there as well. But
Yeah. We'll
someone was
figure it out
saying
as we
earlier
go.
about starting the channel and doing stuff every day to start off with. I'm a big proponent of doing that. That's what I did when I started my channel. Is I did my very first podcast, and then I did Vlogmas 2 days later. It's a great way to get in front of the camera. You're always nervous. You don't feel right the first 20 or 30 videos. It's a good way just to knock it out and get comfortable. I was so much more comfortable in front of the camera on day 30 than I was on day one. I was a lot more comfortable on day 90 than I was on day one or day 30. But yeah, it's definitely a good idea as well. So um, yeah, Donnell says you can do a quick quilt, do it like my quiltness. It's been a quick 5-minute video each day. Yeah, there's definitely all
Maybe I'll
different
try that
options.
too.
So
Maybe I'll mix it up a little.
yeah,
See
we'll
what
have
I
some
like.
fun stuff for you. You'll get to see, you'll get to see updates. Well, I think we should commit to at least doing an update at least once a week,
Yeah, for sure.
maybe more, but at least once a week. I'm thinking probably once a week is doable for me because I still have podcasts and lives and um, other content that I have planned as well. So we'll see how it all goes. All right. Anyway, so it's getting close to 9:30. Time has just flown by. I think I asked all the questions. Yes. Game plan audience. You asked the audience. We told people to get a friend to join you. Yeah. Okay. I wrote
Oh, and
myself a
if
bunch of notes. But
I this made a little coloring sheet. I don't know if this interests anybody, but it's for coloring with crayons. So I'm going to color in with crayons. It's not a quilt pattern. And it just like, but it's a quilt block to like track. I don't know how many of you are obsessed with trackers. I'm obsessed with little trackers and planners and lists. So if you're interested in that, if you go over to my last live or my live with Sean, all that is linked in there. It's just free download off my website, tashaquilts.com. But I love coloring things in and lists and checking things off. So if you want to join in and do that, that's out
is
there.
it TashaQuilts.com?
Yep. If you go to tashaquilts.com, and if you go to the shop, you should be able to look for anything that's free. It's all in my shop for free.
Hang on. I'll
I mean,
try
not
and
everything in my
throw a
shop is
link in
for
real
free.
quick.
I do like stickers too, Amy. Thought about I should get like a little sheet to put stickers in or something, but
It's the 28-day habit tracker, correct?
yes, yep. Because you could use it for literally anything. Like it's a quilt block to color in, but if you like quilts or whatever, you could use it to if you're trying to walk for 28 days in a month, if you're trying to drink more water, you could literally use it for anything. If that interests you.
Oh,
It's
for
nothing
sure. Okay,
fancy.
so I put the link in there for you, so that way if anyone's interested, it is just something to color in. It is not an FPP pattern,
No.
which is what I think Chloe and they both thought.
Yeah. Just coloring. Thank you, Kathleen, for subbing. And she says she's subbed and looking for
The
this
last thing I
video.
need is another FPP pattern. Toasty scares me enough as it is. So there we go. All right, not a problem. Okay, so
Yes,
Kathleen says
Chloe,
she
I will.
subscribed to you. All right, Chloe's asked, can you do a video short on your Pixel Gold tracker? That is new to me.
Yes, I will do that. I will do that today.
Okay, perfect. Amy
I
says
love
that
it.
Vlogmas really challenges her to let go of perfection and polish. I learned so much during the process. Yeah, absolutely. Like, it does teach you a lot. Because you're doing stuff daily, you just kind of just like you don't want to put up rubbish, but you don't
Yeah.
have. It kind of helps you not worry so much about everything having to be absolutely perfect. And if you haven't
Melissa.
seen Amy's
Oh,
vlogmas, definitely go check those out.
yeah. And Melissa, on my it's a little different, but I do have like a full year tracker as well out there, and that's what Chloe's asking me to do a short on. So this is also for free on my website. And I'll do a short today to show you how I'm using it. It's a giant 300 and full year one for us crazy people. It sounds like Melissa, you and I are the same type of crazy, and maybe Chloe as well.
Well, that's disappointing. I just
You have to use
airsewed this whole.
what
I just
happened?
airsewed this whole thing,
Ah,
and
it's the
with
way
that, I
to
think it's
end the
time to
night.
go. Exactly. You know what? I think it'd be fun too, maybe like to do a tracker temperature quilt. Like have a square each day and like maybe do a color if you sewed something, a different color if you quilted something, a different
Yeah, that's
color if
kind
you.
of this is the
Yeah,
paper
that's
version of that. That's a neat
yeah,
idea for a quilt as well.
yeah. Like you have to sit there and track for a year. But there you go. But yeah, someone else said maybe doing like setting a timer for the 15 minutes. I think that's a
Oh,
great idea.
on
You
days I
know,
did not feel like doing it, I would set one on my I don't want to say her name too loud, Alexa. And sorry, cancel. And so I would know that when that timer went off, I could go back upstairs.
yeah, you could set a kitchen timer. You could set a
Yeah.
timer on your phone. Yeah, any of that sort of stuff. That might be a good idea. To set a timer. That sort of thing. There, if you're watching a YouTube video, like, or go find a 15-minute YouTube video, or a 20-minute episode of TV or something. And when that's done, you definitely hit your 15 minutes. I think that's a great suggestion. So
Yes,
there
Amy
we
is what
go.
I forgot to mention Amy in that type of yes, Amy. We are speaking. The universe is speaking for us to track things together.
Yes, I think it's a lot of fun. All right, so with that, I think we'll go ahead and say goodbye. It's been really, really fun having you join me again, Tasha, and you'll be back again on February 1st, so we can talk about how well we did. I think it's fun that we've kind of framed this, that we've done today to talk about it before the start, and then we'll come back right when it's done, fresh. I think that's fantastic that February 1st just so happens to be the Saturday after this challenge. We didn't plan it that way. This was like all organic, which is fun. So there we go. But thank you all for hanging out with us. It was a lot of fun having each and every one of you. If you haven't checked out Tasha's channel, please go over and check it out. It's a lot of fun. Her fun, bubbly personality is what you see today is what you get over there as well. So if you enjoyed hanging out with her today, you'll definitely hang out with her. And then 9 p.m. on Thursdays Eastern time, you can go hang out with her as well. And she may have more guests in the future. We'll have to see how that works out as well. So there you go. But thanks again. I hope you'll have a great day. Go over and check out Donnell's channel at 10. I'm not sure if Tammy's live at 11. I don't think Ross is today. And then all my other friends later on in the afternoon. I hope you all have a great day. Happy sewing. And I'll see you all tomorrow morning for my podcast. Bye.